Hello, Steve White, Steve House 89. Well, I hear rumours that we're going to get a Horde Fright Zone next in the Origins collection, because obviously it can't be the cartoon collection because it wouldn't look like the actual Fright Zone, because it looks like a recreation from what I've seen of the Fright Zone from the original series. Now, we've had, Castle Grayskull, the iconic Castle Grayskull, which they sort of managed to improve in some ways. And then we got the Snake Mountain, which they also made a few improvements, but it still looks too much like the toy. I think we've got the original. What we want is one that looks like the one from the cartoon. We didn't get it. Now, same problem with the Fright Zone. We've got the original. We don't need another one of that. It's not like a figure where you get articulation. And I think that's one of the reasons why the vehicles haven't really sold well with the Origins versions, because they're just like the real one, like the original ones. You don't get anything extra out of them, really. I think Stratos and Night Stalker, or whatever his name is, I think they had more articulation than legs, but so I think the same issue with the castles. Castle Grayskull, I think, was a bit of a fluke. Snake Mountain did okay, but I think it sold well. But I can't imagine people wanting a Fright Zone. I mean, it was just such a bad toy in the first place. It just seemed like a waste of moulding. Instead of having something that opened up like a dollhouse or like a clamshell sort of thing, it didn't have much playability. It was just this box that you sat things on, and there was all this wasted space in the volume, and just you had one side of it, two sides that were open, but there was nothing. You didn't use that space. It wasn't the inside of anything. So I just felt it was really badly designed in the first place, why I still haven't bought it. I'd like to think my vintage collection is complete, but I don't have Snake Mountain or the Slime Pit. Although the Slime Pit doesn't have the issues that the Horde Fright Zone, I know I just said Snake Mountain, that the Fright Zone does. So the idea of them just doing it again, remaking it, and basically doing it the same. At least with Snake Mountain, we got internal floors and actual internal structures and things to actually use inside. They gave it some more playability and just some fun with posing and the bone throne and all that sort of stuff. And they did extend the mountain a little bit on one side, so it looked a little bit more like the one from the movie and the cartoons, and the snake actually looked a bit more like the one from the cartoons. So there was a little bit of benefit to that, and you had Castle Grayskull, you kind of needed the Snake Mountain Origins as well, but no one needs the Fright Zone. I mean, I don't even understand why people bought the Eternia set. I thought that was awful to begin with. Huge, but yet the actual structures were quite small, so you can't do anything with them because they're too small to really play in, really. Maybe the main tower. They waste all the space on the overall size of the place. Like, look how much space it spreads over, which just makes it more difficult to display, rather than have something like Castle Grayskull, which is the volume inside is used. And yeah, I don't think I would buy this. I'm struggling to justify buying Snake Mountain now. I still haven't bought it. I can't imagine buying the Fright Zone. Now, they were talking about doing a cartoon accurate one. That'd be worth having. It's like an Origins playset in a way, the cartoon collection, but it's cartoon accurate. It's different from the one we've already got. So unless you're going to add to it and improve it, don't bother doing it. And yes, I don't see the merit in doing a Fright Zone. Hopefully it's not a rumour, because I just saw some little brief things. I'm like, oh, they're doing that next, and I haven't actually looked yet because I just want to talk about the idea of it first. And if it turns out to just be a rumour, because people have been speculating about it for ages, because they were going to do the Snake Men Castle, Snake Men Lair, and that looked amazing as a playset. It looked a lot like Castle Grayskull. It had that inner volume sort of dollhouse sort of element to it, instead of that playset where it's just like a placemat sort of thing, and then just things like sitting on it to fill up space. I really hate that design, and that's what they seem to be going for with a lot of things. But they had the snake lair. It looked amazing, and then they turned around and changed it and made it just a mess, and the fans all said, hell no, that's not what we were sold. We were sold something else. We don't want that. And then they pulled back and said, okay, we're going to go back to the drawing board because clearly you guys don't like it, and we're making it for you. So do they give up, and they're just going to do they say, well, we tried to do something original, we tried to change it, they don't like that, so let's just recreate the originals, go back to doing that. That worked. So yeah, we want both. We want stuff we haven't had before, and we want new improved versions of stuff we do have, not just the exact same thing reproduced, because that only works with figures because you get the extra articulation. Unless there's more playability and more functions, you don't get that with the vehicles. And the vehicles have been very disappointing, particularly the Point Dread with the little mini base that barely fits on the Castle Grayskull, which is what I bought it for, to add that little section to Castle Grayskull, really was what I bought it for. And it's literally like a quarter of the size, 3/4 of the size, I mean. But yeah, so I'm going to go. Feel free to share, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of the idea of a toy accurate Fright Zone in the Origins series as opposed to an improved one or a cartoon accurate one. We'll see. I don't know if this is just a rumor or not, but we'll see either way.